welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode of First or Flanker. This is a tag that I created, you guys, and I am very excited about this one. Check out the first episode of First or Flanker. I will link it up here and down in the description box. And in this video, I'm going to compare some more originals, the first, to their flankers. Not the ones I compared, of course, in the first episode. In this video, I have a whole bunch of new ones to compare. If you guys want to see whether the first or the flankers win this battle of fragrances, keep watching. So you guys, I created this tag because I know that a lot of the times I struggled with deciding whether I should buy the original, the first perfume, or one of the flankers that came out after that. So sometimes I even hold out for the fragrance houses to release flankers to the first originals, and then I wait and decide which one I'm going to get, because you don't want to get all the originals and all of the subsequent flankers, you guys. That can get pretty expensive and it can clutter your fragrance collection, and you have a whole big cluttery mess after that of all these fragrances that you didn't want to get. So when you have the original, the first, and a whole bunch of flankers, you want to pick which one, or maybe which ones. Maybe you pick a couple from like 8, 9 flankers, right? So it's really hard, you guys, when fragrance companies release so many flankers. So you don't know which one's the best, and you want to know which one's the best. So I decided to compare at least the originals and flankers that I have, so it will help you guys in your decision, because I sure wish that I had videos like this when I was trying to decide which one to buy, whether to buy the original or the flanker. So this tag was so well received, you guys, that I decided to turn it into a series. So this is episode 2 of the series. So you guys, the first comparison I have here today is Viktor and Rolf Bonbon to Viktor and Rolf Bonbon Couture. You guys, I gotta start by saying I love these both, although for some reason I don't reach for them as much as I used to, probably because I have a million fragrances, you guys. It's really hard to go through them all. My fragrance collection grew and I don't really reach for them anymore. And today when I was selecting fragrances to do this video, I'm like, good grief, I need to wear these too. I love them. It's just about visibility, you guys. If I don't see it, I don't wear it. So I need to make sure that my fragrance collection is rearranged, which I'm working on, by the way. A collection video is coming up, you guys. Stay tuned. I have closet issues, so I'm trying to resolve and I'm trying to reorganize, and we're in the middle of a big change, and I'll let you guys know all of that. But a collection video is coming. Stay tuned, you guys. So this one, the original Viktor and Rolf Bonbon. This is so good. It's such a feminine, sexy fragrance, you guys. It's definitely a going out, date, night out type fragrance. Wouldn't say this is great for the daytime. This is almost along the same lines as La Nuit Trésor. It's a very caramelly, sweet, amber, like white floral, woody, citrusy, powdery kind of fragrance. It's very gourmand. It's got a big gourmand touch here with the caramel in here in this fragrance. So it opens with a couple of citrus notes, and there's peach in the opening, and in the middle you get a couple of gorgeous white florals like jasmine and orange blossom, and then you get caramel in the middle, which is a dominant accord in here. Gives it a very gourmand touch. In the middle you get a couple of gorgeous white floral notes, jasmine and orange blossom with that caramel, a big dose of caramel, which is very dominant in this fragrance. And in the base you get that sensual sandalwood with the amber, that sexy gourmand touch again with the amber with the stresiness note, and then you get guaiac wood and a bunch of other woody notes, which makes this fragrance very sexy. Now for this one, this is Bonbon Couture. This one, you guys, this one, you guys, is like the original but on steroids, if you will. Like, this one has a white tobacco note on top of the notes I already mentioned. This has a white tobacco note. There's patchouli in the base of this one, which makes this last longer than the original in my opinion. And in addition to that caramel, this has a huge dose of vanilla, which makes this very sexy. The original is very sexy too, but this one, if you ask me, sexier. So I already gave it away, you guys. This one is definitely sexier. This one lasts longer. There's that gorgeous massive dose of vanilla that adds to the sexiness of this, in addition to the caramel that's already in here that the original has also. Instead of one of the citrus notes like orange or whatever, this has orange and neroli, whereas the original had 2 citrus notes, I think mandarin orange and orange or something, but this one has neroli too, which I think is a pretty touch. Other than the added white tobacco note, which makes it kind of mysteriously sexy, and the massive dose of vanilla that makes it super sexy, and the patchouli that makes it last longer, it's very similar, but this one is definitely better. This one is more like the original on steroids, as I said. So in this case, definitely the Bon Bon Couture wins, you guys. Next, I have 2 fragrances that are very popular by Giorgio Armani. This is none other than Armani Code and Armani Code Satin. Oh goodness, you guys, this one was so popular when this came out, the original. Everybody, because it was very unique at the time when it came out. This has that sort of like, you know, bad bee kind of vibes, you know. Somebody who knows what she wants would wear this fragrance. So it was very popular, like I said, when it came out. And there's something very kind of, there's a little masculine touch to this fragrance, which almost makes this unisex. But that's the sexy part about this fragrance, you guys. It is a fragrance for women that sort of has an edge, you know, kind of like a masculine vibe a little bit. And that makes it very sexy, you know. That's Armani Code. And actually men like this fragrance very much. This is very much a white floral, vanilla, citrus, warm, spicy, fresh fragrance. This is one of the sexiest citrus notes in the opening, bitter orange, and then there's mandarin orange, I believe, and then there's jasmine in the opening, which is really gorgeous. And in the middle, this has jasmine again, so double dose of jasmine. There's orange blossom, and there's a hint of ginger, which gives it a kind of a zing. And in the base, you get vanilla, sandalwood, and honey. The honey you can barely pick up, actually. The vanilla kind of overpowers the honey, if you ask me. The sandalwood adds a nice sensual touch. Fragrance notes listed don't really describe how exactly this fragrance smells. It's very much like a very sexy unisex fragrance, you know. It smells like, anyway. It's a very kind of a hot, edgy chick kind of fragrance. That's the Armani Code, the original. And now this is Armani Code Satin. I also know that Armani Code Cashmere is very popular. I wanted to get that, but it keeps selling out everywhere. I'm gonna get my hands on it too, and when I do, I'll compare them as well. This one, you guys, this one is kind of gourmand, you know. This has a cacao note in it. This one is the dark, sexy sister of that one, but this one has that sort of gourmand touch. This is a very sweet, warm, spicy cacao, white floral, vanilla, citrus, fresh patchouli, lactonic fragrance. This has that delicious gourmand touch from the cacao and praline in the base with the vanilla, you guys. Delicious. This one is very much an amazing night out fragrance, you guys. This is definitely party out, night out, go out on a date kind of fragrance. And I would say you can wear this any season at nighttime. No matter which season you wear it in, you need to wear this at nighttime. This is definitely a nighttime fragrance. It kind of reminds me of La Nuit Trésor, you guys. It's got that vibe, you know. So in the opening of this fragrance, you guys, you get that gorgeous ginger zing, you know. Ginger tends to really add to like vanilla fragrances. And there's that juicy pear note, which is really feminine. And there's a sorbet note in the opening. And in the middle, you get a bunch of gorgeous white florals like jasmine, orange blossom, neroli, neroli really complements that ginger and the citrus notes. And then there is that huge dose of vanilla, there's cacao, there's praline, and then there is patchouli, which makes this last long. So if I were to pick one of the two, you guys, I will say these are both very much fragrances along the sexy lines. That these are definitely sexy fragrances. This is more like badass bee, you know, any time of day kind of fragrance that is very fresh and has like a little bit of an edge with that masculine touch. And this one right here is a gorgeous gourmand with that praline and the vanilla and the cacao, and it's definitely a night out fragrance. Very sexy fragrance for going out, you guys. You can tell which one I'm going to pick, you guys. It's of course Armani Code Satin. So next I have the original and a flanker here that I love both of them, but there's a definite winner here. The definite winner gets so many compliments. This is a compliment getter, the winner in this couple. This is Valentino Donna and Valentino Donna, born in Roma. You know, this one's very popular, Valentino Donna. This one is one of those very sexy iris rose kind of fragrances, you guys. And there's a leather note in here that's really beautiful with the iris and rose that's in here. So it's very much of an iris, rose, powdery, vanilla, leather, earthy, patchouli, woody, violet kind of like floral fragrance. It opens with bergamot. In the middle you get iris and rose, which is very feminine, very powdery. It's actually Bulgarian rose that's in here, which is really stunning. And in the base you get a massive dose of vanilla with that leather note and patchouli, you guys, and it's very long lasting fragrance. It's very powdery. This one is a little bit more like old school type of sexy, if you ask me, but it's very powdery, gorgeous, like rose iris kind of fragrance. It's very old school sexy, if you ask me. Then you have this one right here, Valentino, born in Roma. This one, you guys, is this one is very bright and bubbly and very bright and sweet and bubbly. This one is the contemporary sister cousin of the original Donna. This one is very contemporary, you know, very bubbly, very bright, kind of edgy. It's a very like woody, vanilla, fruity fragrance. There's like woody note is very prominent. There's a huge dose of vanilla. It's very fruity. It's sweet. It's powdery. It's musky. It's green. It opens with that very juicy top note of black currant. You guys, you know how much I love black currant in the opening. That burst of juicy freshness. And there's pink pepper, which is a bubbly, beautiful spice note that I love in the opening of fragrances. And then there's bergamot adding to that like fresh opening. And in the middle you get a whole bunch of jasmine, you guys. You get jasmine, jasmine sambac, jasmine tea. It's a very like a beautiful jasmine scent with a bunch of other kind of like vanilla and woody notes. In the base, of course, you get that massive dose of vanilla. There's woody note and there's cashmere. Definitely, I would say is the more contemporary sister of the original Donna. If you ask me, they're both amazing scents. But this one right here, Valentino Donna, born in Roma, gets me so many compliments. This one is a scent that people just love. It's like one of those scents that people just adore. I got asked so many times what I was wearing a couple of summers ago, you guys. This one is very, very much of a sexy, contemporary kind of fragrance. So of course I pick Valentino Donna, born in Roma in this case. So next I have three actually, the original and two flankers. I have compared these in several of my other videos, like in passing, talking about other things. I've actually compared them in several videos, but I'm going to actually compare them again because this is a dedicated video for this purpose. So these are Lancome La Vie est Belle, La Vie est Belle Eclat, and La Vie est Belle Intensement. You guys, let me just start out by saying I adore all three of them. I don't care what people are saying about the original. It's still a favorite of mine. I don't care if people are saying it's overworn, all that. it's still a classic. It's still a gorgeous fragrance. Anyway, you guys know what the original smells like, you guys. This one has a gourmand touch to it. Again, it's a classic. It's an orange blossom fragrance with some gourmand notes in it. It's got patchouli. It's very long lasting. It's a very sweet vanilla patchouli, slightly earthy, powdery, white floral, sort of musky, iris type fragrance. It opens with that juicy blackcurrant note, and there's that pear, which is very feminine. And in the middle, of course, you get the gorgeous orange blossom. There's jasmine, there's iris, which makes it a little powdery. And in the base, you get that delicious praline note with that big dose of vanilla. And then you get tonka bean with vanilla, which intensifies the vanilla scent. And then there's patchouli. This is a gorgeous scent, you guys, and this one is more appropriate, I would say, for colder months. You can wear this at nighttime during the summer, you know, even spring. You can wear this at nighttime, I would say, but it's definitely a colder months type of fragrance. I adore it still. I don't care if people are sick of it. I'm not. And then you have La Vie est Belle Eclat, which is more of a intensified white floral version of the original, without the gourmand touch, without the praline and all that. This has vanilla too in it, but there's no praline or anything. It's not a very like heavy fragrance. So this one is actually a little bit more dense than this one. This one is more bright and more appropriate for spring, let's say, and summertime. But especially for spring, this is one of my favorite springtime fragrances. This is packed full of those bright white floral notes. This has like a big dose of orange blossom. So it's very much a white floral, citrus, vanilla, powdery, woody, sweet, like floral iris fragrance. So it opens with like citrus notes, there's freesia, and in the middle you get that gorgeous massive dose of orange blossom. This is very much of an orange blossom fragrance. There's jasmine adding to that orange blossom. There's other white florals in here. There's iris with a slight powdery touch. And in the base, you get a vanilla note, of course, adding a little sweetness to it. And then there's sandalwood, which is very sensual. There's patchouli, which makes it a long-lasting fragrance. This one is kind of like the original, only the original is denser than this one. This one is more of a spring-summer fragrance, a little lighter, brighter than this one. This one is very much a heavy, a little bit denser fragrance with a gourmand touch for more of the colder months. And this one is very light, bright, and very much of an orange blossomy white floral fragrance with vanilla. You know what I'm saying? And then we have La Vie est Belle Intensement. This one has a raspberry note that adds a very much of a fruity touch to this. It's got a huge dose of vanilla. It's very heavy in vanilla. It's very sweet. It's white floral. It's woody. It's warm, spicy. It's got iris. It's amber, and it's kind of balsamic. There's a raspberry in the opening. You know, raspberry is very, very nice, pretty fragrance note. And then there is pink pepper, which we know already is a very bright, spicy note that I adore. And there's bergamot in the opening. And in the middle, you get that big dose of orange blossom. There is jasmine, and there's heliotrope, adding a powdery touch, because heliotrope is another one of those powdery purple blue florals, kind of like iris. And in the base you get iris also, so it's kind of very powdery because there's iris in the base as well, which is also powdery. There's a massive dose of vanilla in the base, and there's benzoin that's intensifying the vanilla scent, because benzoin is a resin note that smells like vanilla also. And then there is sandalwood with that sensual touch. There's patchouli for lasting power. The original has patchouli, the Eclat has patchouli, this has patchouli. So all three of them have patchouli. So which one do I pick, you ask? Well, I love all three of them, like I said, for different reasons. But if I were to pick just one, if you guys were to pick just one out of the original and the flankers, because you only want one, you can only afford one, or you only want to have one, well, I'm going to recommend La Vie est Belle Intensement, you guys. This one is beautiful, like Eclat, you know, kind of has the same bright kind of vibes as Eclat, light kind of vibes as Eclat, but it has that fruitiness that gives it a kind of another layer, you know, to this Intensement. That raspberry really adds to the femininity of the fragrance, the juiciness of the fragrance. It wins over the original because it has the DNA of the original, but only with that beautiful raspberry fruity touch, with the little bit of the lighter, more brighter aspects, you know, that Eclat has. So I would say this is like a nice middle between those two. I love this one. This one is perfect for, again, spring and summer mostly. Not so much the colder months. You can wear fragrances if you want to in the colder months, you guys. I'm just telling you, time of the year that it performs well, it's gonna be spring summer fragrance. So this one is Lancome Belle Intensement. So next I have 4 fragrances, you guys, that I'm going to compare, the original and the flankers. These are from one of my favorite fragrance houses, you guys, that's known for their sexy, musky, edgy scents. You know which one I'm talking about? Narciso Rodriguez, you guys. I love their fragrances. So I have here Narciso by Narciso, the original. And then I have here Narciso Rouge. Then I have here Narciso Poudre. And then I have the latest stunning release from the house, from the same line. This one is Narciso Ombre, you guys. So the original, you guys, I'll talk about first. This one is one of the most sexy, edgy, white floral musky scents ever. This one gets a ton of compliments, you guys. I've been complimented on this fragrance in elevators and places. People love this fragrance. I mean, men, women, everybody. This is a very edgy, very sexy, very badass kind of fragrance, you know. It looks white, but don't let the color deceive you. It's not innocent. Like I said, this one is a white floral, woody, musky, very aromatic, lactonic, rose, animalic, earthy kind of fragrance, you guys. Something very edgy about this fragrance. It opens with that stunning gardenia, you guys, which makes it so amazing. That musk with that gardenia, I think what makes this fragrance, and then of course the rose note. So yeah, this opens with gardenia and rose, which is such a stunning floral opening if you ask me. And then there's that massive dose of musk in the middle, just musk, that's all there is in the middle. A very big dose of musk, which is what makes these fragrances so sexy. Musk is so edgy, so sexy, you guys, especially with floral notes. And in the base, you get a bunch of really nice woody notes. There's cedar and a bunch of other woody notes. And there's vetiver adding kind of an earthy touch to it. It's a very sexy, fashionable is the word that comes to my mind. Edgy, fashionable, sexy. That's what comes to my mind. This is Narciso by Narciso, the original. Then you have Narciso Rouge, which has a stunning iris and rose note in the opening. It's very powdery, it's vanilla, it's rose, it's iris, woody. It's very aromatic, it's very sweet. There's a slight earthiness to this fragrance, and it's got a violet accord in it as well. It opens with iris and Bulgarian rose, you guys. Oh my goodness, just like the original opens with gardenia and rose, this opens with iris and Bulgarian rose. Bulgarian rose is the most stunning rose note ever and the most expensive too. And in the middle you get that gorgeous tuberose and orange blossom with the big dose of musk. And in the base you get tonka bean and vanilla, which intensifies that vanilla scent. There's a bunch of woody notes. There's cedar, I know. There is sandalwood with that sensual touch, and vetiver with that slight hint of earthiness. So this one is very much a rose iris kind of woody vanilla scent, different from the original, which is more like a white floral musky scent, you know. So let me put a pin on those. And then you have Narciso Poudre, which is a gorgeous, also a white floral fragrance with the woody accord, a massive woody accord actually. It's musky, it's aromatic, it's powdery. It's a very aromatic, powdery fragrance, you guys. It is kind of sweet. There's rose, there's vanilla, it smells balsamic. It has warm spiciness to it. It opens with orange blossom, jasmine, and Bulgarian rose, which is so beautiful. The orange blossom with the jasmine and the rose is very stunning. And then in the middle you get that massive dose of musk, just like the original, just musk in the middle. And in the base you get a big dose of tonka bean. In this case there's no vanilla, but the more deep version of vanilla, the tonka bean, it smells a little deeper, darker. And then there's vetiver, patchouli and cedar, I believe, in the base. Funnily enough, it smells very powdery, but there's no particular like powdery note in here. Like there's no iris or anything like that. There's no RS or anything, but it smells powdery for sure. I'm thinking there are more notes in here that we don't know about that adds to the powderiness. So this one smells closer to the original than the Narciso, let's say Narciso Rouge. Very beautiful. This one is more of a, I guess, a more powdery, sweeter sister of the original. And the musk in here isn't as powerful as the musk in the original. I would say right off the bat, without even going into the next fragrance, that the original is the biggest musk one. Like it has the biggest dose of musk. And then we have, you guys, the latest sexy sister of the three that I just talked about. This is Narciso Ombre. I didn't hide it very well, did I? I did not hide it. My facial expression, I was telling myself, don't show it yet, don't show it yet, don't give it away, don't give the secret away. But I couldn't keep my face from making that look. Anyway, gave it away already. Yes, this is the one that's gonna win. Sorry, spoiler alert. This one, you guys, oh my god. This one is a yellow white floral fragrance with musk, you guys. It's very rare to find a yellow floral dominant fragrance that's very kind of tropical with a massive dose of musk, you guys. And that's what they've done here. This fragrance is so unique. This is not only unique, period, it's unique to this fragrance house. They've not done a tropical version of their gorgeous, sexy, musky scents. And boy, who would have thought that tropical yellow floral notes go so well with musk? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Oh my god, there is a gorgeous frangipani note in here. You guys know I die hard love frangipani. Yeah, I'm getting a little intense. I'm sorry, you guys. Getting a little carried away. And then there is that ylang ylang, you know, is also a gorgeous yellow floral note that's so tropical. Both of them are tropical yellow floral notes, you guys. And then you get a bunch of white florals in here that's very narcotic also. That goes so very well with that musk accord in here. Like I said, it opens with frangipani, ylang ylang and white florals, you guys. Kind of like the, you know, how the other ones open with other notes, you know, like the Rouge opened with iris and Bulgarian rose. In the same way, this opens with the yellow floral versions, you know, like the yellow florals, like frangipani, the ylang ylang, and then the other white florals. A gorgeous opening. And then you get a massive dose of musk in the middle. And then in the base, you get a massive dose of vanilla, which goes so well with those gorgeous yellow florals. And then there's cashmere and cedar in the base. Oh, you guys, this one is so good. It's very, very unique. Very alluring, very sexy. If I were to rate them, I would say this is definitely hands down a gem, unique fragrance. I've never smelled a tropical musky fragrance. That's unheard of, really, to me. Like a musk dominant tropical yellow floral fragrance. This is the first. Very unique. And then there is the original, which is super sexy. These two are very, very sexy, I would say. And I would also say that Rouge is sexy too. God, they're all sexy, okay? So yeah, this is number one. I would say this one's number two. And I would say Rouge is number three. And Poudre is last. Not that it's bad. Oh my gosh. They're all amazing. So yeah, so this is the order in which I would pick them, starting from my right here. It's just stunning. And of course, this beauty wins. So last but not least, you guys, I have two very popular fragrances that everybody and their dog talks about all the time, especially the original. It's a well-known fragrance in the fragrance community, you guys. Anybody who knows fragrances knows this fragrance. You know what this is. This is from a very popular house. This is Alien by Mugler. There are people who just swear by this fragrance. Yes, it's a beauty. It's a jasmine fragrance. The jasmine in here is, however, a little indolic to my nose. It's a kind of an indolic jasmine, but it's sexy, it's dark, it's mysterious type fragrance, and the bottle kind of says it all, you know. It's basically a white floral, amber, woody fragrance, you guys. It pretty much has jasmine, woody notes, and amber, really. Again, the jasmine in here is a little bit more like kind of indolic, a little, dare I say, dirty, not so much, but indolic jasmine, kind of dark, mysterious jasmine with that amber, with that sort of resinous gourmand touch, and then the woodiness that adds to that sort of sexiness, if you will. Then we have this one right here. This is Alien Essence Absolue. This one, however, you guys, I wasn't sure if I should do this comparison because this one's hard to find nowadays. I think they've discontinued it. It's hard to come by, but you can still get your hands on it, which is the only reason why I'm doing this review. You can buy this several places. You can search on Google and you will find it, but not easy to find anymore. It has got the Alien DNA. However, it's nothing like sisters. This is more like a cousin of the original Alien. Yes, there's jasmine in here, there's amber, there's woody notes. However, there's a lot more in this one. But this one is very much more oriental kind of version of the original. Has incense in it. You know the vibes that I'm describing. It's a very amber dominant fragrance, you guys. There's a big dose of amber in here. There's a big dose of vanilla. There's white florals like jasmine in here. It's balsamic. It's very balsamic. It's powdery. It's woody and warm spicy. It opens with a big dose of jasmine, just like the original does. And there's amber in the base, just like in the original. However, in the middle, this has cashmere wood, which is really nice. There's ors adding that powdery touch to it. Of course, there's that massive dose of vanilla in the base and a massive dose of amber, which is very sexy. And then there's incense in the base, which makes it kind of oriental to my nose. And then there is myrrh in the base. Myrrh is one of the oldest known fragrance ingredients, you guys, from the ancient times of like Egyptians and stuff. It is very balsamic. It's kind of like aromatic, spicy note. So which one would I pick out of the two, you guys? You guys know the answer. It's the Alien Essence Absolue, only because I like the added sexy notes in this one, you guys. It's got more layers. It's a little bit deeper, like sexier. It's got an oriental vibe to it, and it has that myrrh, which adds like that sort of like really like nice, warm, spicy quality to it. And I really love the massive amber dose in here with that gorgeous big dose of vanilla. I really think that massive dose of vanilla makes this so much sexier than this one, and that amber and the myrrh, you know, all the like the incense making it oriental. Both of these you can wear on date night, night outs kind of fragrances. I would say both of them are nighttime fragrances. Time of the year, you could probably wear them all year round, but I would say mainly colder months. This one you can wear summer nights. You can actually wear the summer nights too, but definitely nighttime fragrances, you know what I'm saying? So Alien Essence Absolue wins the battle of the two aliens. So you guys, that's the end of First of Flanker episode number 2. So don't forget to check out that episode number 1, you guys. I linked it up there and down in the description box. And in that video, I tagged a bunch of my fellow creators here on YouTube, and they have done their own video of this tag. Check them out as well, you guys. And thank you to every one of my lovely fellow creators who did this tag so far, and thank you to those who are planning to do it, who let me know that they are going to do this tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure love filming this video, you guys. I love this tag. I love this concept. I think it's very useful. I got a lot of feedback last time, you know, the first episode, a lot of you saying that it was super helpful and they love this concept, that they want to see a lot more of these episodes from my channel. So that's what I'm doing. More episodes to come, you guys. Stay tuned. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Take a minute to subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so YouTube can notify you every time I upload. I will see you guys in my next video.